Good morning. As we go to the Chitas of the day, we start a new Parsha, Parsha Shemini, which is on chapter 9, the book of Leviticus, chapter 9, verse number 1. And it was on the 8th day. This was the 8th day after the beginning of the inauguration of the Beis Hamikdash. And this was, after 7 days, where Moshe Rabbeinu was the Kohen and he showed everybody exactly what to do. Now was on the 8th day, Moshe Rabbeinu called Aaron and his sons, Ulazikni Yisrael, and the elders of the Jewish nation. Sharashi says this is the 8th day to the investors, as we just said, where Moshe Rabbeinu inaugurated each Nevi Kohen over there, his brother and his nephews. Who is Chodesh Nissan, the very day of the Mishkan was erected, with his Chodesh Nissan, and the day it took the crown. Not said, which is mentioned in the Gemara, that on that day it was this day took 10 crowns on his Chodesh Nissan on the first day of Nissan. L'ziknei Yisrael. To inform them over here, Moshe Rabbeinu called the elders of the Jewish nation on the 8th day to inform them that it was an expressing command of God. This was not a personal thing that he had done, that everything that he had done was because because God told him to do it. And God made Aaron to enter God on this day, on the 8th day, the Chodesh Nisan, after 7 days of teachings, like 7 days of education. And now was the real day, the day that Aaron HaKohen would become the high priest, B'kunag Dela, that they shouldn't say that it happened on his own, that he did it himself. And he told Aaron, Kach lecha egel ben bakar, take yourself a bull calf, lechatas, v'haya la'oila, and a ram for an oila, for burnt offering, tmimim. Make sure that they are whole. V'hakrev lefnei Hashem, and bring it before the Eibishter. You're gonna do you're gonna do the avodah. So Rashi said this was to inform Aaron that the Holy One, blessed be, had granted him atonement through this calf, the bull, for the situation that happened with the golden calf. And he was involved a little bit, whatever. He tried to appease them and didn't go out, strongly against them, whatever, his whole idea. But here God would, because it's called Egel Asher Asa Aaron, it was called the Egel that Aaron made. So here Moshe Rabbeinu said through this calf, God was going to forgive him. But Bnei Yisrael then speak to the Jewish nation. Kusid Izim Lachatas, take a goat for a korban chatas, Egel v'keves ben shamet tmin leila, and take a lamb and a first year, both unblemished, for a burnt offering. And take an ox and a ram for a peace offering. Hashem, to sacrifice before God. Do mincha, and then you have to take a meal offering. Mixed with oil. Because today God is going to reveal himself to you. What does that mean? To make his Shekhinah rest in the work of your hands. Today, that you're going to become Kohanim and you're going to get involved in the Avodah, that you're going to see how God is going to respond to your sacrifices. And he's going to reveal himself in your work. And they took what Moshe Rabbeinu commanded. And the entire community approached Hashem. And they stood before God. Verse number 6, and Moshe said, this is the word. This is the word that God said, and this is what you should do. And the Lord and the glory of God will be revealed before you. Verse number 7. And Moshe Rabbeinu then told Aaron, come closer to the altar, and do your sin offering, and your burnt offering, So bring kapara, bring forgiveness to you. And for the people. Vaseis karbanam, and then do the sacrifice of the people. Ba'adam, and forgive them. Kashetziva Hashem, as God commanded. Rashi says, why did Moshe Rabbeinu say this? Because Aaron was bashful and afraid to approach the altar. He didn't want to, he was afraid. So Moshe Rabbeinu said to him, why are you ashamed? For this function, you have been chosen. You're not like, you didn't want this job. This is a job that you have been chosen. It's a schus, it's a responsibility, but it's a merit. As chatascha is your bull calf. Veseilascha, this is the ram. Korbanam, what is the people's offering? The he-goat, the calf, and the lamb. Wherever the qualified, the word egel is stated. Well, unqualified, the word egel is, it denotes that one in the first year. This rule is derived from the passage. The par denotes one of third year. Egel ben Bakar, one of second year, and Egel is one who's in the first year. The Gemara learns that you see the different nuances in the verse. When the verse says Egel alone, it means 1 year. Egel ben Bakar, it means a 2-year-old, and a par is a 3-year-old. Aaron came to the Mizbeach. And he slaughtered his sin offering, the calf. And then the sons of Aaron brought the blood to him. And he dipped his hand in the blood. And he put it on the corners of his beach. And the rest of the blood, he poured the blood in the base of the altar. And the fat, the kidneys, the diaphragm, and the liver, menachatas from the sin offering, hikdam is becha. He brought it on the mizbeach, kashatziva Hashem es Moshe, as God commanded Moshe. Verse 11. This was a chatas, this was a sin offering. And then the rest of the flesh and all its the hide, he burnt outside the camp. So Rashi, you did not find a scripture an outside sin offering whose blood was sprinkled outside the altar, not in the holy, in the Beis Hamikdash, like the one of Yom Kippur and the one of the sin of the nation. Only this to be burned, with the exception of this instance, and the sin offerings of the investor. This was a special law, and these exceptions were burnt as expressed by the command of God. Verse 12, and then he slaughtered the burnt offering. And the sons of Aaron presented him with the blood, and dashed it on the altar around it. Presented the notes in presentation and preparation. Verse 13, and then he presented the burnt offering, and its prescribed pieces. And the head, and he caused them to go up and smoke on the altar. Then he washed out the innards and the legs, and he caused it to go up on the altar. And then he brought forward the people's sacrifice. And then he took the people's sin offering, the goat, slaughtered it. And he made it a sin offering like the first one, like he did his own. He did this according to the laws of a korban chatas, karishain, like his own calf. And then he brought upon the burnt offering, and he did it according to the law, according to where he was taught. So now she says, Mishpat, according to specific regarding the voluntary burnt offering in Pasha Yikra, chapter 1, verse 1. And that completes the Chumash of today. We now go to the Tanya of the day. We are holding in chapter 37. And the Alter Rebbe continues to explain the concept of what happens with the Gilei Elokus. What are we waiting for? What are we truly working, all the work of our life, to bring, to connect, and to reveal godliness in the world? So it follows, Kol Tachar Shemeis HaMashiach, the whole purpose of the coming of Mashiach, Utchias HaMeisim, and the resurrection of the dead, Shugil Kvoidoi, which is the revelation of the glory of God, Velakus Yisbarech, and the divinity of God, Ulahavir Ruchatum Amoritz, and to take away the impurity from the world. So it's all dependent on our drawing down of his godliness and the blessed Ein Sof upon all the 248 limbs of the vital soul of all of Israel. By the way of the vital soul, the animal soul, all the world will fuse with godliness. So in essence, if we want Mashiach, we got asking for Mashiach, is all based on our avodah that we do today. In our revelation of darkness, changing the world from a dark world to a light world, with the light of God, that brings about this whole concept. Which is doing all the positive commandments, which we know the positive commandments is all revelation. And the purpose is dependent on our banishing the spirit of impurity, getting away evil. To be able to, as we explained, to be able to reveal godliness needs to be a vessel. We need to clean out the world. We need to clean out our own inner world. And how do we clean out our own inner world? Is by not bringing in things that don't belong there. And that's a 365 Kol Shasa Mitzvahs Leises. And that's the 365 negative commandments. To make sure to empty out and clean out the vessel of that is impure, the vessel that needs to be cleaned out. So that's the way we do it. So the Alter Rebbe continues, and he says, so by that, to make sure that it doesn't, so that by the vital souls observing the 365 negative commandments, that he doesn't do an Aveda, thus preventing the 365 blood vessels from drawing nature from the spirit of impurity. So that's the thing. The problem is that we, God forbid, give the capability for impurity to exist. We give them vitality. And that's the analogy of the 365 sinews, which keep the blood in its right place and make sure the blood, chas v'shalom, doesn't go to places it shouldn't go out, and it stays in its right place. And that's the concept of not doing an aveda, not doing a sin. Make sure that vitality does not go to the wrong place and stays in its right place. And that completes the Tanya of today. Today is the 17th day of the month, which is chapter 83, 84, 85, 86, and 87. So if you'd say 83 to 87, we would do the chitas of the day, and we would accomplish doing chitas today. I wish you all a wonderful, beautiful day, a happy day in Mircham today. At 10 o'clock, we're going to have a wonderful class in Kabbalah and in the Gate of Trust. I hope we will see you. I trust that I will see you all either at Chabad or on Zoom or on Torah Direct. I wish you all a wonderful, beautiful, happy, and healthy day.